Now, most farmers are known to grow crops and then passing them to middlemen, but you can actually stretch that and move a little up in the value chain.
And that's exactly what our entrepreneur tonight shares with us on how he's able to grow cassava and add value by processing it.
My name is Opento Mugisha Fred. I'm one of the members of Abongo Women Group, and this is where we are here now, is Abongo Women Group. This group started in 1992. We have 45 members, both youth, mothers, fathers, all together here. We are doing farming. We are specialized in cassava growing, that is narocas. We started in 1992 with goat rearing. After goat has got finished, then we changed to farming, growing cassava. We have, so far, we have 215 acres of land. The solution we have provided, so far we have provided to this community is many. One, enough food for the community. There's a lot, plenty, because our food cannot get finished. Seasonal, we have a lot of cassava because we have 215 acres. We can grow this cassava in season. We have the one we have just planted, the one which we are uprooting. So there are many. We have solved the problem of food in this community. If you want cassava right now, you have to come there, you will get there. So food is solved. Again, also, we have solved some problem of money because there is a lot of people coming in place to buy this cassava. Because even the house growers, for example, for the same variety we are planting in this farm, they can also bring in. Even now, the youth now, because of this work, we have many work here. You can go and dig for you. It has also reduced the problem of this theft in the community. Yes, the product we are having here right now, we are having flour. We produce even starch, which are in place, which can be used in industry like Uganda Breweries Limited. We have like also cassava cutting, that is cassava stems. We do really give to other farmers, but really we have some challenge in it because you have to multiply to others also, because we have them in the farm many. If you want to get a good cassava, first of all, you have to have a good land. After cultivating the land very well, and then you have to look for the good variety. The good variety. Right now, the variety for us we are using narocas 1. Because according to the government, this is a good variety we are having right now in the country. It has two ways. One, it can mature in 6 to 9 months. It's over. It's ready now. That is the first thing. Two, even if you look at our weather itself, it is conducive to our weather. Because right now we have taken like 2 weeks without rain. But still, if you look at our garden, you will find that this cassava is resistant to our weather. So that's why we are using narocas 1. Another thing is sweet, the sweetness. Because if you bring this bitter one here, it cannot work very well. So it's good in that way, 3 ways. It has good quality. Even the yielding, yes, the yielding, it has mash. Like in business, the group has managed to own their land. This 215 acres is now is for this group. We have also saving group, like saving circle, the circle. So every week, you have to save. The smallest money is 5,000. This weather is not so conducive. Sometimes it can stay even for 3 weeks without raining. Look at our cassava. So our challenge is weather. So we are supposed to get some maybe sort of irrigation, which we are working on it. Another challenge is market. Because if this, our farm, we have 215 acres of the cassava. So the market, so far we are getting this market. The 10 million I was told, 10 to 15 million we are talking about, which we get every week, is from these Lugwara people. They're coming from Arua, of which the cassava is too much. So we need more market.
Now this show is dedicated to teaching you on how you can make money, grow it, and keep it. And tonight we want to understand how your expenditure behavior can contribute to the 3 variables.
And of course, if you look keenly, you realize that expenditure and your expenditure habits actually have a huge bearing on how you can make that money, grow it, and keep it. Take a look. Now, Shamim, it's quite tough sometimes to differentiate between needs and wants. There's a thin line for a number of people.
Yes, and of course, especially for us women, it's more about, do I need this? Do I want it? Say, for instance, if I walked into a store and I saw a beautiful bag, I would ask myself, is this a need? Is it a want? If it's a need, I will take it. But if it's a want, that means I can walk away and come back later.
Beautiful. Now, tell us, how does that then relate to saving?
Okay, so a lot of times we are impulsive buyers. You see something and you're excited about it and you can't sleep. But you see, if there is one lesson I learned from COVID, it was that there are certain things that I do not attach value to. Especially when I looked at my closet with my shoes, my bags, and my clothes, not one for 2 years.
Interesting, quite interesting indeed. Now, again, related to, again, one of the key aspirations of this show, the issue of growing money. You've saved because you've not bought that other shoe or that other cool bag that you wanted. So how does that then feed into you growing the resources you have?
So then it gets me to think about the other things where I would actually make sure that my money is viable and is working for me. So when I walk away from thinking about the expenditure that is really a want and not a need, I'm thinking about what can I do with my money, finding opportunities for investments, or even saving that is going to give me value on top of the current money that I want to save. Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, we tend to have the good discipline at looking for this money and then growing it to a certain point. Now, keeping it becomes again another Herculean task. And I mean, there's a lot of excitement that comes with money. I mean, many people would feel like this is the time to actually have a good time.
Of course, and it still goes back to consumer behavior. What the people who produce these goods and services tell us is, you actually want this. There's something they pose onto you, so your brain just quickly tells you, I want this, I need this, but you actually don't. So I think that it's very important for us as human beings to think about our bigger picture. What is your dream that you want to build?
Okay.
Is it a dream of spending where it isn't really necessary, because at the end of the day, the money you spend doesn't come back? Or is it a dream of actually building wealth? So we must ensure that we are enticed by the value of building wealth, because if we've learned something from the COVID-19 experience, is, my dear, rainy days, no one.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And here again, we're committed. She mentions a very important point, growing wealth. Now, money is not wealth. It's what you use that money for that actually makes you a wealth person. Of course, among the aspects that are key to consider here are the investment vehicles available. Do you put some in heads of goats and cattle? Do you put some in brick and mortar? Do you put some in stocks, bonds, and the like? Now, continue watching the show, Money and Markets. We'll have that and more in our subsequent shows.
As we continue to experience harsh weather conditions, it's now important more than ever for Uganda to invest in meteorology.
Of course, we can no longer do anything by default, including agriculture, because the rains no longer come when we expected them to actually be coming. Now, it means we have to invest and be deliberate about putting the resources in prediction of these weather conditions, and therefore meteorology becomes a very important aspect of our agriculture journey.
Uganda National Meteorological Authority is an organization or an authority that is mandated to give weather and climate information services to this country. So one of the things that we do is to provide information, climate and weather information, to all stakeholders, and our biggest stakeholder in this country are the farmers. So we produce a lot of products for different stakeholders in the country, and for the farmers, we normally give them the seasonal forecast, we give them the 10-day forecast, the one that we call a decado, and we also give them the monthly update. As you are aware, there's a lot of changes in our seasons, and we are obligated to ensure that we keep on updating our stakeholders, especially the farmers, in these changes. For instance, we can have a season that is going to be a bit long. We may have a rainy season that is going to be a bit long, but then in the middle of it all, because of changes in the atmosphere, you find that that season is going to be cut off. Instead of having 3 months of rain, we are having 2 months of rain. So that one requires an update to be given to the farmers as fast as possible, so that it informs them to plan or replan and make sure that they make informed decisions. So what we do generally is to give that information to the farmers through different channels of communication. We go through structures of the districts, we go through civil society organizations, we go through the media, we go through stakeholders like the parliamentarians who inform their constituents of what is happening. In giving this information, we normally take care of different sectors. We also take care of the farmers. We know that they do different types of activities. Some of them are engaged into long-term crop production. Others are engaged in short-term production, while others are into animal and crop husbandry. So when we're giving the information, we also give advisory. Because we deal with different stakeholders, we always come together with different experts, and we come up with advisories that farmers require.
These changes, we witness it in different forms. The dry spells that happen during the rainy season, they are longer, they're a bit longer than they used to be, and even when they become longer, it's always very hard for these farmers to sustain their crops. So that dry spell, what we mean by that is these are consecutive days of no rain. Otherwise, also, for example, when you talk of a dry spell, that there is a dry spell coming up. So what do? These farmers, we are able to advise that come up, get some water harvesting, do a lot of water harvesting, and ensure soil moisture conservation.
It's been Man and Markets. I've been Charles Wood, your host.
And I'm Shamim K. Matovu.
Until next time, have a good evening. God bless.